Hello, welcome to Creative Crafting by Katie. I'm going to use a piece of rice paper that is from Designed by Beth Walker. I will link her Etsy shop in the description. I'm going to use a Dollar Tree canvas board for my surface, and I'm going to just do a really quick, easy project with this. I will wrap the rice paper around the right and left side of this. I'm going to cut the excess off the top and the bottom. It's not enough for it to wrap completely around, so I just decided to go against doing the top and the bottom. So a little bit of Mod Podge just on the surface. I'm not going to do anything else to the surface. You can use the iron method if you choose. I'm not doing that, but keep in mind when you're using a canvas, it's going to have that area between the back of the canvas where it's open. So it's going to have not the stiffness that you would normally deal with on another surface board. So keep that in mind. You'll see that I flip it over later on to be able to rub it from the back side. You could also put yourself something stable in that area, a book or something that you could put in there so that when you're rubbing it on there, it will help it to adhere to that instead of having bubbles from it. So here's where I flip it over and just work it from the back side. You could also do that with the iron, is work it from the back side. But when you go to wrap it around, it might be a little bit more difficult. So you do you, and that's that. So I will cut right at the corners of these just to make sure that it'll wrap around properly. And that's just to mark the side of the page for me. It has nothing to do with the top and bottom, because again, I'll take the top and bottom off with some sandpaper, but just a little bit more Mod Podge and just work it all the way around the board. You could cut it right there if you wanted, but I chose to continue going all the way around. It just gives it a nice clean edge where you don't see where it ends. It's fun. So anyways, you could use any print for this. It would work out well for anything in any size canvas. If you wanted to go a little bit smaller, you could, or even the flat ones that would work really well. Just cut it off around the edge and not wrap it because you just really don't have that edge to it. But this is just a really cute idea for any type of a print that you have. You don't really need to do anything else with it. Sometimes you have rice papers where the print itself is beautiful enough and you don't need to do anything else with it. So this is what I felt like was the case with this project here. So really cute, patriotic beach scene. Love it. And yeah, so just use a little bit of elbow grease here and pull it around. Again, if you wanted to go over the top and the bottom with it, you could, or maybe if you just wanted to go over the top with it, you could have put your rice paper up high enough for it to wrap around all the way. And so I just kind of 45 those corners there just with the scissors so that when I went to go take this off, it was properly to the edge for the wrapping around portion of it. So I don't know why I'm struggling here, but I am. But anyways, it's not a really, it's kind of the edge isn't very tight, I guess. I was just struggling with it, I think, with the stiffness of it. So at any rate, just work with it for a second. It really isn't that difficult to get off. You can also just cut it if you want. You do you. I do think the print is adorable. And see how it wrapped around the edges there? It leaves it seamless. It's really cool. And so if you choose, you can Mod Podge over the top of it. You can leave it blank where it's a little bit, how do I say it? Not shiny, not sealed. That's entirely up to you on what you're going to do with it. So I am working the heat here to make sure that there is no other bubbles and that it's going to adhere properly to the surface. Canvas is just a little bit different to deal with. Again, it's only because of that open area in the back. So if you could find something like a piece of wood or book or something that would be that same size, that would be helpful as well. But turning it over does work. So just keep that in mind. I'm very picky about my edges, so sorry about that, but that's the way that goes. And I'm Mod Podging this down on the edges because I want to make sure that that's sealed really well after I was playing around there scraping it off, right? So definitely, I will Mod Podge this because I want it to adhere well. You do you again, and yeah, it doesn't really matter. Did you notice that little snot I had in that bottle? I don't know where it comes from because I was working with this bottle for a long time, and all of a sudden this runny like snot wants to come out of there. Sorry, I know. A little bit too much information, huh? So I am doing a little bit more of a dabbing motion. I don't want it to tear because, again, of the openness behind that. So I'm just playing it safe and using more of a dabbing method here. Plus, it's a different consistency than just a piece of wood that you're dealing with. It's more of a fabric-y type consistency. So I feel like it helps to get it adhered properly and coated over properly and to soak into the rice paper that way. So you guys do what you want. Also, spray adhesive would work here as well, or spray Mod Podge. You could use that on both of the canvas and on the top part. That's also an option that I just don't happen to have that type of spray Mod Podge. So yeah, that's why I didn't do that. But I am going to come in and just use a little bit of diamond dust on my flag. I just wanted a little bit of sparkle for the funness of this project, but I didn't want to go overboard with it. It would kind of have been cool to also do the sand that was kind of that pathway up to the bike, but I just kept it very subtle with just a little bit of Mod Podge. Dump that in the garbage so the dogs don't step on it. And you'll notice in the picture once it's dry how cute this turned out. Very simple. It's just, that's it. You're done. It's lovely. Find yourself a piece of rice paper that has all of the details and no other embellishments necessary. I hope you guys love this project. Make sure you guys follow, subscribe, and all the things. Check the comments for the links for the rice paper. Have a great day.